Made with fresh cow's milk from certified dairy farmers with 130 years experience, we produce over 1.3 billion liters annually. We work with quality standards that far exceed statutory requirements. Our milk is not made from milk solids. Ammerlander. Real milk, pure and natural. Available at stores nationwide.
Yes, good afternoon. Welcome once again to the Wake Up Guyana show here. It's the Wake Up Guyana show here on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 in Essequibo and Demerara, 99.5 in Berbice. I missed you guys yesterday. I'm going to give you some excuses for that. Did receive a lot of calls, so I know that we sorely missed. But I want to say welcome one and all to wherever you're joining us today, whether it's in Guyana, whether it's overseas, whatever it is that you're doing, I know that you're keeping us company and we're keeping you company. It has been that way for several months now. It's coming on to be but 2.5 months away from the end of the year, the end of 2020, and what a year it has been. Elections, pandemic, lots of new starter with a new government. I'm really sorry about my get up today. I'm a little informal. I'm on vacation, but it's not vacation away from the people of Guyana. As you know, the work continues, and the work continues for journalists. The work continues for the media people. And so we never stop. The news happens all the time. It doesn't tell you, it does not give you a memo that says that something is going to occur. Then at least those are the incidents that we see around the place. So it's a Wake Up Guyana show wherever you are, and I want to say welcome. This is the host, Leonard Gildarie, and we are going to be headed into the newspaper in a very short while. Your largest selling newspaper, and as usual, many things here to talk about and some other developments. But of course, today, I'm going to tell you that we are going to continue to make some people happy. Already within a few hours, another person is going to get a call. I think they would have been reaching out. We did ask within the last couple of days for the persons who would have reached out to me with regards to a wheelchair for them to call that number there. I did give that number there. It so ended up that a lot of other persons would have called, and so we missed those 2 or 3 persons who would have initially called asking. There's one lady from Mariah's Lodge. Help is on the way there. I must tell you, the Minister of Human Resources, Dr. Vindhya Prasad, has allowed, says that she is going to make 3 wheelchairs available, and there's some others who are asking. So wherever you are, I want to say that we have not forgotten. I take note of everything. I pass those information on. Sometimes the authority are a little slow in acting, but they do get the job done some way or the other, or sometime or the other. So we are going to be telling you a little bit that. But let's get right down into the Kaieteur newspaper today. October 15, 2020. I did miss you guys yesterday. It was a very busy day for me, and lots of things to do, from doctors to personal stuff that I should have done since a year back. So try to rush it through. I could not see another day that I would be away from our program. It is a very important program. Lots of people depend on it to have answers on a number of issues, and Kaieteur Radio will not disappoint. It has not disappointed so far. It has been there with you, foot to foot, in almost everything that we do, and we thank you for being with us also. So it's October the 15th, 2020, 2.5 months before the end of 2020, and this is what the newspaper, Guyana's largest selling daily newspaper, Kaieteur News, this is what it has to say. Gruesome murder of Berbice teens, and you can remember this is the 2 murders of the Henry boys, those 2 cousins. Killing was so brutal it sparked protests. Of course, criminal elements ended up taking part in those protests, where the Berbice roads were blocked in several instances, and 2 persons ended up dead. in addition to those two boys, as a result of those protests. And Guyana asked for overseas help. We had some forensic investigators, and then, of course, another team recently would have been here, a regional team, and then another overseas team. They concluded, and a report is expected very soon. They're keeping the details of that report very private. Well, I won't say private, but they're keeping it on the wraps at the moment. And so we would wait to see whether what has come out of it. What we do know so far, that where the boys' bodies were found in such a mutilated state is not where they were killed. So there are several questions that would definitely arise from that. Why were they killed elsewhere and dumped in this position? Is it to give a certain kind of information or a kind of directive to the investigators? Why would you take the trouble to kill them there and then drop them elsewhere? And the big question is, where were they killed? The damage that was done to the body, it is very, very clear that they probably died at another location. And that is a crime scene that the authorities were searching for, the investigators. So overseas team concludes those investigations, and the report is expected out soon. The main headline in Kaieteur news today is Senegal gas fields versus Guyana Kanji block. And when you look at what they would have gotten there, there's some very, very, very clear things that's coming out there. The Kanji block, which was given to Mid-Atlantic and the gas company, and the Kanji block offshore Guyana, it is estimated to hold 5.1 billion barrels of oil or its equivalent. And the map showing the controversial oil fields, it shows there very clearly. This is St. Louis offshore, St. Louis offshore Senegal. Looks almost as big as Guyana. So lots of things there that would show. We have to pay very close attention to what has happened overseas and what's happening locally, because it gives us an idea some of the pitfalls which we should be avoiding. And I did talk to Mr. Glenn Lal a very short while ago. I indicated to him, because he has a very big knowledge of what's happening here. When I say that he's been studying the situation as a businessman, and you know that he doesn't, Mr. Glenn Lal does not play as publisher. He has been not unwilling in the past to take on the government of the day to ensure that the people of Guyana get they get their rightful share, and he's been fighting for that, fighting against corruption. So he did indicate, he says, Gildarie, yes, I'm willing to come on board with you very shortly. Let's sit down and we'd have to plan it, because so many things to talk to the people about, and it's not a one-off something. So it's about time that we bring him on as to why. Is it that Kaieteur News, as usual, with his fight against corruption, would have been taking on such a big topic, oil and gas, and why is it that he is taking it on, and why is it that he is so relentless in his fight against the oil and gas, and to ensure that we benefit? Because he says at the end of the day, it affects your pension, it affects how soon your road is going to be made up, it affects everything that could happen to Guyana, because we have the monies there. And if we could get a better deal, we wouldn't have to complain about finding monies to build a new harbor bridge. We could build about 5 or 6 of that one time. We could build 5 or 6 of Mile Falls and overhead pass and so on. And we could have better care at the hospital. We wouldn't have to complain about our level of service at the hospitals there, about drugs. We could have free operations and those kind of things. So it's a very serious situation that we're looking at here, the continuous attention being paid to the oil industry, the oil and gas industry here. We had just less than a year since we would have started, and it's very good that we should be asking questions about what is happening with our oil and gas, because it's not only business for our locals, but it's ensuring that we get a very equitable or a very good part of this entire oil and gas sector, that it belongs to us, and as a people that we right away grab onto what is owed to us. Exports, Senegal could have gained billions through competitive bidding of oil or of gas fields, and so Senegal again comes back to it. It's in Africa, and they're saying that they lost some billions of dollars had they gone to competitive building of its gas fields, and so they are ruining it right now. They're paying attention because they now understand what they've lost. Guyana lost billions by avoiding open public tender for Kanji block. So correspondence story shows what happened in Senegal, what happened in Guyana here. Vala Lawrence passes through court on fraud charges. So she appeared again yesterday, more charges for Vala Lawrence as to why her signature, among other things, would have appeared in a declarations at the Ashman's building in the early days of March, just after the March 2nd elections, that eventually led to months, almost 5 months, before a new president and the other party that says that it won, which is the People's Progressive Party Civic. There is a new president there, finale there now, and they would have had to wait 5 months, and they want to know what role. The police are saying that she played a role. She is the chairperson of the People's National Congress Reform, and she's also a former Minister of Health, which is part under the A Partnership for National Unity, which PNCR plays a big part, and they were the latter faction of the coalition government. The other faction would have, of course, been the Alliance for Change, and now they're in opposition as the coalition. So lots of questions there over the role of Vala Lawrence, and she and a couple of other officers, including from GCOM, Chief Elections Officer Keith Lowenfield. A shocker there, because we could never expect that our regulators, the gatekeepers, would be involved in an attempt to rig the elections. That's what the police are saying. That's what the government is saying. And so there's a big investigation going on, and there is going to be eventually an inquiry to talk about this, to look into this election also, in addition to the police investigation. And so government to make monthly 10 cubic meters of water free to pensioners. We did talk about that, and this is an interesting story here. This is equivalent to think about 3 or 4. Let me just get very quickly into it. And it is saying here this is equivalent to 400 gallon black tanks of water. So there's 5 black tanks of water per month for our citizens. And I like seeing things like this, because it was once a time where they were getting free water, and it was stopped by the coalition government because they claimed that many persons who were also living in the house with the senior citizens were benefiting, so they had a preference of putting a halt into it to look at some other measures for GWI. So this government has reintroduced some kind of free water system for pensioners. We are still waiting what happens to GPL as well with the electricity. What I could tell you is that the VAT has been removed from water and light. So that's a beginning. Let's see where this goes. Murder convict appeals 62-year sentence. Big Dam lockups finally completed after 7 years. I was paying attention to this Big Dam lockups because they spent millions and millions of dollars to build it. And when they built it, then they realized it was badly configured, badly engineered, because there was an issue with airflow, and the people, the inmates, or the remand prisoners who would have been held there, they would not have been able to be there, and it remained safe for them. The ventilation system was poor, so it was poor design, and it took 7 years for us to complete this project. It's finally handed over, and this is going to be good, because we're short of lockup spaces, and people would have been taken all over the place, from the East Bank, the Grove Diamond lockups there at the Grove Diamond police station, and then on the East Coast it's Parndam, and it cost a lot of money. So you actually have Big Dam police lockups there finally back in operations. Ex-cop used uniform to conduct robbery. I would say jail him if he's found guilty, because why is he holding on to the uniform? You're supposed to give it up. And so, in essence, let's just glance through this newspaper very quickly, because I want to open these lines for you to give us your call. And I want to say good day to wherever you're joining us. This is a Wake Up Guyana show here, and we're going to come back to that in a very short while. And so the gruesome murder, and they did tell us a little bit that. Let me see, crossover votes. Lots of interesting letters here in Kaieteur today. A very serious newspaper as usual. We want back our oil blocks. This is the Peeping Tom. Them nurses fighting for chicken feed, and this is them boys. And of course, everything comes back. What's in the backyard, and why are we fighting? We should be fighting just as vigorously for better share in our oil. And so 2018 AG report for Region 2. Health Department shows $111.5 million unaccounted for. What's happening here, Region 2 was in charge there. Why is it that we continue to see things like this happening? Soldier granted $20,000 bail for assault in cop. And I saw this thing. I am not sure what triggered that because the policeman said for you to go back in line. The story was this cop going across the bridge and the Harbour Bridge, and in the evening the police see him doing some illegal traffic maneuvers, and the policeman said you need to go back in line. He got out and he had a confrontation with the cop, and he threw the cop, literally he lifted the cop up and threw him down on the ground. He was arrested right there. This is a soldier. And then the army came onto the statement and said, this is not what we stand for. So he's granted bail. And I think this is something uncalled for. I get crazy with police. I want to say a lot of things, but I can't tag the police. This is a very serious issue here. And so let's see how it goes. These registries sanitize the staff who test positive for COVID-19. I must tell you at the moment that there's another death. We have 107 persons now dead, and we would have had more than, it's just half of the month, and we have almost between 25 to 30 persons dead in that 15 days. So we are not looking good as a country when it comes to providing or protection or doing what it is. The numbers are increasing, and of course we've opened up our airport, so due care would have to be taken there. Retired Belizean jurist to help strengthen Guyana's arbitration laws. Very good. New Amsterdam received ventilators, oxygen concentrator for the Ministry of Health, and this is good building capacity at our ministry, at the various ministry hospitals here. So let us see also. Okay, this is good. I see Minister Edgell would have gone to Diamond, and he would have been engaging residents of the road there, promising to look after roads. I live in Diamond, so I could tell you there's some state of road is beyond ridiculous, and you go into almost every housing scheme, same story. So accused found not guilty of Sophia shopkeeper's murder. Government halts structure erections at Charity River Defense until appointment of new board. And of course, this, let me see if there's any other thing that I should tell you about here in the Kaieteur newspaper today. There was a big story in Berbice with this, the Hamids, Amiran and Saudia, who would have been involved in an accident there. Mr. Hamid would have called me this morning, and then of course yesterday, and he's saying that this car here that they crashed into, apparently they were riding along and this car turned into their lane, and they ran into it because they couldn't stop in time, and the car probably didn't wait to see if the road is clear. And Mr. Hamid has made it very clear that story that is being presented out there is as if he's wrong and his wife ended up in the hospital with steel in her leg right now. I'm glad that the two folks, well-known business people in Berbice, East Berbice here, I'm glad that they're okay, that meaning that they have not, it could have been worse. But he's saying very clearly that this car turned into their lane. So I did indicate to him that I'm going to ask the reporters them to look into the story here, because he's saying that what was portrayed, what was being put out there is as if he was at fault. He made it very clear that this is indeed not the case, that the car turned onto their lane and he could not stop in time. That's in essence what it is. The car is supposed to be waiting, so we are going to be talking. So before we go to the lines in a very short while, I would want to hear from you guys. 6222222, 62222. I want you to send your messages to that on WhatsApp or your SMS. And of course, you could call us. Do not call us on the 6222222. We can't answer that. It is 226-7453, 226-7453. In 5 minutes, I'm going to open the lines here. But there's some other stories that I have to tell you. The people of West Bank, Demerara, especially on the West Coast, west coast of them are complaining heavily about the situation with the power, and same thing up in Berbice there. The power situation not good. The GPL is really finding it difficult. I'm not sure what is happening, whether it's maintenance, but the people, there's school ongoing, and then GT&T on the other hand would not have been able to provide proper internet services in many of these areas. So students are left high and dry. Those dependent on schooling via the internet, those that had access to the internet. So people are complaining about that this power outages is having, these power outages are having a very hard time with the student. They're facing that. And GT&T this morning came out with a statement, and this is what they had to say. Businesses would have seen that their speed increasing 6 times the amount within the last couple of weeks. They're working hard to ensure that business keep the head above water. I have a question for you, GT&T. Why now? Why not several months before? You're waiting too long. And a lot of people, and what happened to the students and domestic services? Why did not you're not saying anything about that? So you gotta come here a little cleaner, and you gotta start telling people you waited too long. I'm not sure why you waited until the sector has been liberalized before you talk. You should have been talking and said, "Bear with us, we coming to you," but you said nothing. And I'm going to be extremely harsh and continue to be harsh with what you've been doing to the people of Guyana. And you could talk to us if you want to. You could come and let us have a discussion. But you have not been saying anything. And on behalf of the people of Guyana, we are going to continue to represent them. We hear the cries. So it's 107 deaths so far from COVID-19. I think within the last couple hours, another person, a 46-year-old woman, Region 4, died while in the hospital. She was receiving care, and you know that the numbers are rising. 300 land titles to be given out at the stadium this weekend. And let me tell you this, you guys would want to head to the stadium, because between 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Friday, this tomorrow, and Saturday, the Ministry of Housing, Central Housing and Planning Authority, they're going to be at the stadium there. The Banking Association, the bankers are going to be there, and all the other stakeholders, the hardware suppliers, and so on. So 300 land titles are going to be distributed or given out between tomorrow and Saturday. And if you have queries, now is a good time for you to be at the ministry's outreach at the Providence Stadium. This is at Providence tomorrow and Saturday, for you to be able to raise those queries and raise it and have it addressed by CHMP officials. And maybe you could talk to the hardware suppliers and see some of the products that maybe they would have on display, and maybe ask some questions. And so let me see. And Guyana is asking help from CARICOM to do its election reform process. I think this would have been made clear by the Attorney General and Nanlal. This was a big issue. Our elections process wants some reform badly. I think it's going to include looking at our constitution, among other things, and looking at GCOM and the process there. And let's move forward with it. While we have one of the strongest systems, it's very clear that advantage was taken of the system, that the thing that saw Guyana would have been waiting 5 months before, almost to the day before a president was sworn in. Guyana has been, has been on hold, everything there that's bad. So I want to say hello to the folks overseas, wherever you join us from. A hello to Mr. Randall Bernard Koo, my uncle. He's tuned in every single day from, he says, it doesn't matter what I'm doing, I'm dropping and make sure that I have you on. And I want to say that he tested positive, and he says, I'm feeling much better. Stay safe, say everybody. Take the COVID-19 as real, sending a message to the people who are listening. And I hope that everything, just stay safe, uncle, and I hope that everything is all right, all the way from New Jersey there. And so he's sending a message to you guys. So it's enough of talking from Gildarie today. It's going on to 1:30, and let me tell you very clear, Rad says that I have to do something. Rad, I haven't said not a word to you today. I've been very, very good. Have you been behaving yourself? Have you bought anything for, the host today and says, Gildarie, I appreciate you very much. Could you be nice to me today? You don't do that. You come in here, you sit down, and you just do things that you control. You got to have a little better relationship with myself. I could talk to Mr. Lal about you, and so let us see what happens. So Raj, he's all smiles here. I did promise to cook biryani chicken and lamb and so on. So I'm gonna look forward to that. I'm not inviting anybody by my place. No COVID, and so social distancing. So you got to wait a little. So better value for better protection. Get your ship and cargo covered with us today. CARICOM General Insurance Company, Inc. at 121 Regent and Arnock Street. To better serve you, you can now purchase your insurance online from the comfort of your home. Telephone 225-1787 or 269-0020. So I want to say good day to the folks down at CARICOM Insurance, and we're going to talk a little about. Sometime we'll have to put aside an entire session to talk about insurance and why insurance is important to the people of Guyana, and why it might be an alternative, maybe to or it's a good supplement to what you would have had to the NIS and so on. So I want to talk about that sometime or the other, because there's a lot of benefits to having insurance. If your house burned down, the same money that you could take for the cost of a beer per day, you could probably take that and put it into an insurance premium to an insurance company, and you could probably have at the end of when you reach your reach time for retirement, there's a pension there. It gives you something. So let's start thinking of those directions there. So wherever you are, just the Wake Up Guyana show. It's 622-622-222 here. You could call WhatsApp us on that, or send your messages on things that affect you, things that you want to comment on. And of course, 226-7453, 226-7453. Do we have a caller online already? Yes, already we have one. 226-7453. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You sound very happy. Go right ahead. I'm happy too.
I'm very happy. I missed you yesterday, though.
Yes, a lot of people did call me yesterday, and I must say I'm not sure why my phone was ringing off like that. I did say I took a decision because I had to go do some things medically and otherwise, and so I took that time off and without giving anybody anything. So go right ahead, ma'am.
Yes, I'm missing me and my husband fall in love with you, bye.
Oh, you and your husband fall in love with me?
Yes, with
all
you.
Right.
Bye, so sweet, what I miss you. And like me picnic and they fall in love with his children there.
Okay.
I get good news to give you.
Okay, I like good news. You tell me good news.
I just collect 25,000 from the government.
This is in the number 58 village here.
Yes, you know those Lady Vice.
Of course I know the Lady Vice. I must know the Lady Vice. And what's happening? Is there any problems? What's the problems? Any problems that they have up there or so?
No really problem. Them villages are quiet village.
So nobody didn't complain about hiccups or anything, like maybe 3 families live in one house and they didn't get the money or so.
No, well, anything happen. They come in and give me money and me get one tenant to live here too. One, so she's a pensioner too. Me a pensioner. My husband is a pensioner. Only then give me and a full farm. He said I will come back.
Okay, very good. So you think people are satisfied with the process that is happening up there?
No, nothing bad not happen.
Okay, so people are satisfied?
Yes.
Very good.
He said the money new picnic if you like you put up the money.
Oh, so you're going to put up the money? No, you're going to spend it. I think
we want to give God the praise and thanks, the honor and glory for provide for us. And we want to give the government, Ali and Barrett, and the people in the parliament that making this great decision to feed their children in this country. We are their children. We are God's children, but we are their children too, and that they have give us. So I will go and buy some grocery, rice, a big bottle of oil. I'm going to buy a chicken.
Well, very good. I'm very glad that, at least it's a help coming in somewhere there. Huh?
I'm so happy.
Thank you very much, dear ma'am. And all the way from number 58 village. Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
I think one problem in this village here, right?
Yes.
So you gotta live in this place.
Yes, we have to live with ourselves in this
No,
country.
tiger. You know name tiger?
Oh, they got tiger in the village?
Yes, by the back, not far.
You see the tiger?
Tiger eat out 5 of my grandson goat and move
How
on.
far down? How far from where you live in?
So me I live a road and before me the beach.
Oh,
But
well,
me a lot of bush and the trench and the dam are one. You know you want dig and so, but them NDC people is not intent to do anything.
well, you know the money and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's right in the area leading to the seawall side that you think the tiger is there.
Between there.
Well, they need to get some hunters and track them down. I think they get some dogs and so they got a
They
thing that.
bush and then I dig this place. Them a dig them place we say them a live.
Right.
So, you know, so that well, I clean the road, the trench, you know, get on grass to them area. And here's very bushes.
All right. I'm glad that you're happy, and let's hope that they come quickly into Region 4, because I know Region 4, Region 10, Region 3, they're waiting anxiously, and Region 5 also they're waiting anxiously.
So then I have a Region 6 people.
Yes.
But finally then come.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much, and do have a pleasant rest of the day. Okay.
You too, babe. Have a blessed day. And may God bless you and keep you for His honor and glory. And may God bless you in good health, strength, wealth, prosperity, you and your family. And I don't forget in Riyadh and the people there that working with you all together.
Don't forget Raj. Raj is the one who's the brunt of all the jokes here today.
Right, well,
We always pick on him, but he has a good temperament.
I take good care of myself.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much, right? Have a pleasant rest of
I
the day.
forget you every day. I try to get you every day.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
But you blame Raj on that. Raj has always blocked people numbers.
And me now get through with you.
All right. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Finally get through with you today.
Yes. Thank you. Okay. Good. So all the good things to the good people of Berbice today. They're wonderful people, wonderful folks. And we have two of the best markets in Guyana. Yes, we have good markets in Georgetown too. I like the Le Penitence market, the Starbuck market in the evening. You could find some good things there, good deals, good bargains. But you go down on the weekend, like the Mondripo market, on the weekends also, Port Morant, Rose Hall. You get some good deals there, some of the best seafood. You could get some of the best Creole foods there also, in terms of yard fowl and things like that. You could go there. So Portman, Rose Hall Market, lots of things happening there, and good deals too. So very quickly, let's get on to those messages that we have here today. Let me see what those folks are saying. What happened to the program yesterday? At least the answer to my question. Yes, I was out. Somebody's asking what happened. Yes, I had to take an emergency dropout, and Raj, being the kind of person he is, he said, Gildarie taking a day too, but he had to come to work too. We tried to train him for that. The only thing that Raj is good for is singing a song. But we want him to take over the show. We're going to talk to him, and let's see what happens. Good morning. I just want to, let me see. No, I don't have anything here right now. Let me see if there's another message. 6222222. I want to hear from you guys today. Let us hear. Hi, Leonard. Please ask the Minister of Health what is the meaning of silicosis. And I'm not sure. I'm going to ask him what is silicosis. Good afternoon. Do you have any idea about the ferry to Suriname when it will reopen? Have absolutely no idea. I think they are going to look at a phase reopening. If you want to use it to go back and forth into Guyana, from Guyana to Suriname, that there should be tests being conducted. If there's speedboats and so on, it can't happen right away, because of we understand people are back and forth. They're still illegally using the river, and from time to time the people are being caught. But whenever they caught, I think charges are being laid. People are using it though. They're waiting until the Coast Guards and everybody turn their eyes, and maybe even with the assistance of the police in some ways, or the authorities, we hearing that they are being facilitated to get even the Cubans and so back and forth across, even the Venezuela back and forth across the Currentine River there. But no idea when the ferry service is going to open. The authorities are looking at it. I know that we have in Guyana, talking with our people here, is the Foreign Affairs Minister of Suriname. Two Foreign Affairs Minister in Suriname, I think Mr. Albert Ramdin, would have been visiting Guyana. I'm sure this matter came up, and so they would be looking at the situation, looking at numbers and crunching it there. Good afternoon to you, Leonard, to everybody. tuned into this radio program. I'm always listening to the program. I just wanted to keep up the good work from Ramesh of Zeeburg, West Coast Demerara. Good day to you, Ramesh and family, and to all the folks down on the west coast of Demerara, in fact, West Demerara, west side. Hi, Joshua. Well, I think this morning. So let's go right back into the callers. And 6222222, send your messages to that. Do we have another caller? 226-7453, 226-7453. Want to hear what's bothering you, what's happening in your area. Let's talk about that. So in the meantime, I must tell you that GT&T has announced this morning that it has increased the speed of internet 6 times. They've gone from 50 meg to 300 meg for business clients of them. So maybe they're targeting the business customers and they've increased it to 300 megs. That's pretty good speed. I wish I had that at home. You could stream movies and things like that. So let's see what happens. Do we have a caller online there? Yes, good afternoon, caller. You are on here. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller. Go right ahead.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Kaieteur.
Yes, it is. Could you raise the voice a little, please?
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, you are on the Kaieteur radio. Go right ahead. Go ahead, caller. I think we would have missed that caller there. So it's 226-7453, 226-7453, and of course send your messages to 62222. We want you could get us there on WhatsApp, or you could get us there on the normal SMS. And so we are getting ready. As you know, Guyana is also getting ready to watch very closely the elections in the US. I think it's very early in November. So that is eaten up in a very, very big way. So do we have a caller there online yet? Yes, good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. This is Kaieteur.
Yes, it is. Could you lower the volume on the radio there, please? You have a radio on? Yes. Go ahead. Hello? So we're having a very bad day today with our callers. When you call in here, make sure that you turn your radio down right away, or else it's going to feed back here. So it's 226-7453. We coming to you live over in studio here on Saffron Street, 24 Saffron Street. And you can get us here on 99.1 in Eskimo and Demerara, 99.5 in Berbice. And you could also get us on Kaieteur Radio. Kaieteur Radio, that's on Facebook. Kaieteur Radio live stream on YouTube. So we coming to you both on live on YouTube as well as Facebook. Do we have one? Yes. Good afternoon, caller. You on the air. Go right ahead.
Mr. Raj, good afternoon, sir.
No, this is Gildarie. Raj is right here listening to you. Though. Go right ahead.
I'm from Crasby, but
Huh?
I'm from Crasby.
Okay, Traspe. Yes. How you doing?
Fine, man, fine. I have listened to your program, a very nice program.
Yes,
Every
sir.
week.
Go right ahead.
Sir, we go to the paper every night, man.
Yes, man.
Yes, I'm glad for somebody come and check with the very butter in Crasby North.
Yes.
The road is very bad. Very, very bad. You see when rain falls, water lads, right? When me get by criminal car, me can't afford car.
Yes, sir.
So when I reach the bike, so you go along. The edge of the break is at the concrete.
Yes.
You understand? I'm going to tell you.
Yes, yes.
You can see.
No, you got to be very careful there. You don't want to hurt yourself. But here is what I'm going to say to you. You have an NDC in the area. Who's in charge? Which NDC is in charge of that area?
You're a dead man. You're because I'm dead
No.
man.
Here is what we're going to do. Which is the NDC that's in charge of the area there?
This Bleeding Hall.
Bladen Hall. Well, what you could do, you need to prepare 2 letters. One to the NDC, and you send that same letter to the RDC. And ask them, you beg them to fix that road there. You see, unless they have it on records, they would know. They're supposed to know. But when you put that, it puts extra pressure on them. So what you need to do is send it there, and even if you could get it to maybe a copy of the letter to the Minister of Local Government of Nigel Darmlal, and maybe he could probably be able to do that. Okay?
Give me here now. Listen to me now.
Yes.
I'm a strong people, man. I'm supposed to tell you all. Right? All of them boys have been nomads together. Right?
Uh-huh.
Working with the party. A man is getting a home friend when I look after force. And me not get friend in them things.
No, you don't have to get friends, sir. You are a citizen of this country and have rights.
Me won't gonna be right. Me not get friend in me won't.
Uh-huh.
me report to you, you come and do what I tell you.
Uh-huh.
Send the other body who you go send.
Uh-huh.
But this man here, who are the head for this thing here, is NDC.
Uh-huh.
Get you and friend who you look after first.
Right, right.
You collect the ham and share my back there, keep a shop for sell. I don't know I don't think that.
But who's sharing these hampers? Is it the People's Progressive Party? Is it government? Who's sharing these hampers?
Yes. But you know what, Gildarie, let me tell you something. These things have happened for years that is crazy. These people have this government get a shop and then give everybody grocery from a hamper, then keep 20 for themselves.
Uh-huh.
Yes, man, this thing not right.
Right, right.
Not right?
But let me see. But
you have to stop and quarantine there.
yes, sir.
You have to collect money. You understand? Everybody must get them things.
Well, they're moving on. I think they're moving on, coming, and I think they understand the speed in which they got to move. They got to move this thing faster. A lot of people complaining.
The 20,000, 25,000 already been me anti-motor, I say anti-motor. Everybody got to get a share, let the poor people get poor.
Right, right, right. I hear what you're saying. All right, but you need to write your NDC, so you can't we can't take it for granted that those people know. So what we got to do, we got to prod them a little more.
The fact matter. This one matter the fact. That's
Right.
why whether it's in DC and the chairman and the wife them family, me not mix with family with things. Do me work first.
Right, right, right. All right, we got to give them some time. But Paul, with
the people in the area say what do get the family look after you first. You coming in place. You understand?
right, sir.
So that family you look after you first. Look after the other but
All right, I hear you. All right.
Let's talk about written NDC and never do it.
No, sir. You need to do it. You need to listen to me whenever what I'm saying to you. You need to record it. Don't tell them. Don't tell them anymore. Write it. Put it in writing. Get
Right.
somebody to write it for you.
Kagad.
All right.
That's what Kagad.
You got the idea there. You have the idea there. So make sure you put in writing, give it to them, give them a copy, give it to the RDC a copy, and send a copy of it to the Minister of Local Government, who is Nigel Darmlal. He likes to act right away, and especially if you get a copy to me, I take a picture and send it right away. Please act on this. All right?
Yes. Good one.
Thank you very much, sir. So it is the Wake Up Guyana show here on the Kaieteur Radio, and it's the only show that you would have that is of this nature, that's going to meet the people, because we want to hear from you. It is your show. It is not Rat's show. It's not Gildarie's show. It's not Leonard's show. And he said to tell you that he's coming to talk to you guys. He's been promising for a little while, but he's very busy, doing his work. And so he says, Gildarie, you do your thing, but make sure that you tell them very clearly that as a businessman, I understand what is happening here, and I'm not going to stop until we get a good deal, that we could have a better deal, and they should negotiate it. They must negotiate it. So he's very clear about that, and it has become a very big passion for him right now. He's very serious, very focused on ensuring that we get a better deal, and so he's not going to stop. He said, make sure that they understand that I'm going to make sure that all Guyana should come out and start agitating, make sure that the same way that they're pushing for other things, that they want this $25,000 and they want the pension, that they should also know that they have to push as hard, because it could impact their pocket positively. They could see more money in the pockets at the end of the day. Good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie. I'm a hot meal cook, and we're about to start up work again to provide meals to grade 5 and 6, but our stipend is just $1,000. I'd be so happy if our stipend could be something more higher. I'm not sure too much about this system here. I presume this is a Ministry of Education project. I'm going to try to find out from the Minister of Education what exactly it is, because I'm not sure if there's a contract or where does these people work or so. I need some more details. If you could probably send that to me, how does it all happen? Good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie. I'd like you to look into the Ministry of Health about the shortage of medication. Every time you go, they keep telling you that there is not enough medication. Thank you very much. And so, yes, this is a big issue that the Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, would have indicated that he is very much aware of that based on the assessment that they would have conducted after they went into office, and they have now put out big tenders for the supply of medication and other emergency supplies through the Ministry of Health. So let us see what happens, if this is going to solve the problem or it runs on into next year, because people are complaining bitterly about what's happening. Good afternoon. I'm having a hard time understanding the school is not open, and yet the teacher of Bell West North School wants you to pay $25,000 for the PTA fee. I have not worked in 4 months because of the pandemic. Where the teachers expect me to get the money from? I agree with you. If you don't have the money, how are you going to pay it? And I can't understand how the teachers are doing this. And some teachers are keeping private lessons and forcing parents to pay it. We've been receiving those comments on it. And I think there's a Minister of Education. There's also a advisor to the Minister of Education. There's several. Of course, I'm going to have to get those numbers for you guys. And so, if you have questions or so, you could call them and complain. Or if you have a complaint about teachers and what's happening in the education system, call them and complain. You know, you have these people here. Don't wait until Gildarie does it. Pick up the phone and do it. We will raise the issues here. We will continue to raise those issues. But you have a right and you have that power to also do it. And I know many of you maybe don't even have money to put credit in your phone. And so time, let us know what is happening. We could probably do it. But I want you to also understand that you have the power there to do that. Do we have another caller in line? Yes. Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air. Go right ahead.
Hi, good afternoon. It's Kaieteur News.
Yes, you're on the Kaieteur radio right now. You're on air. Go right ahead.
Okay, I call on the Essequibo Coast. Man, the fare is really high on the Essequibo Coast. Charge up, you got to pay $200 on the car, man. And when you told him and tell him, go and burn the police, go and burn the police. I don't know really going on, and I hear the gas is dropped.
I'm going to ask Mr. Leonard. I'm going to ask him to get involved with this, because I think transportation, maybe there's more of an issue, maybe with the Ministry of Trade and Industry. I'm going to ask them to get involved with it. I'm going to ask Mr. Leonard, because they're part of the Ministry of Public Works, to probably put the foot down. Maybe they could pull in a couple of ministries to deal with this issue.
And with 4 people, right?
Yes.
And the car, man, them taking passengers 4, 3 at the back and still charge you the same price, and you cannot talk because they say get your own vehicle.
Right. And this is it. What you guys need to do, you need to start calling us and giving us the numbers for those vehicles that are doing that. Could we do that?
Yeah, we could do that.
I understand what they're doing there, but you can't have people, telling you and daring you to call the police and call the authorities and things like that. I think there's some regulations, and I'm going to ask the police to get involved here. Maybe call back the traffic chief. I think there's a new traffic chief now, and ask the ministers them to comment on it. I'm going to ask them to do this.
Okay, good. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you very much, dear ma'am. So on the Essequibo Coast there, I want to say good day all to the folks down in the Charity area, the Pomeroon area, wherever you join us from today. I want you to be safe in the minibus driver, the taxi drivers, the hire car drivers. Essequibo Coast, many complaints that we're receiving by you folks. You got to talk to them. You got to maybe talk to the authorities there and see whether there's a compromise. But people are saying this very hard guava season that you've been very unfair, and especially with I understand that you weren't working for a little while, but you can't put 3 and 4 persons in a vehicle and then charge them double fare. Why are you doing that? So we're going to do things a little different now, because this is the Wake Up Guyana show. We're going to wake up a couple of people. If you know vehicle numbers which are breaking the laws, let's start embarrassing them. Let's start doing things a little different way. You cannot do that to the people of Guyana. You got to have a little conscience. So, and I understand very clearly it's been a tough couple of months, but everybody was feeling the squeeze this last couple of months, from businesses to hard-working, day-to-day people who live day-to-day. Some people live, paycheck to paycheck in the past. People are living day-to-day over this last couple of days. So it is a very difficult thing. So let's go back to some of the news which would have been coming here. Good afternoon. Any news about the Ponzi? Is he paying back? Yes, the Ponzi scheme. The alleged Ponzi scheme. The man and his wife. This is Yuri Garcia Dominguez and his wife Tika Ishmael. They would have been released from custody. I think last evening we understand that the authorities, the police investigators, they are widening their investigations, and they raided some properties which was allegedly linked, or which is believed to link to Mr. Garcia and his wife, and they would have taken away some things there. The lawyers would have been on scene and so on. So we are waiting to get some more information to find out what exactly would have played out here. But this investigation is continuing. We understand that they paid some people. I'm not sure by the time, I'm not sure how who decided that they are going to pay every week, whether there's an agreement between the government and this gentleman here. But we need to know. The people have been complaining. So do not call us on 62222. We cannot take any calls on that. It does not make sense that you call us on that. So a lot of people calling in on that. You'll have to send the messages there. Hi, Len, I would like to know if you applied for public assistance for a special need, if you can take the form to the minister's office, or I have to take it to the NDC office. I'm from Vrina Hoop. I think you should take it to the minister's office to speed up things a little there and ask them. There's a new permanent secretary there, Lamaha Street, next door to the Lotto office, next door to the Cancer Institute there. It's where they're located. So you could probably take it there to just to get the process speeded up. And you could also take a copy to the Villanova office if you guys are listening. So is there another caller online that we have there, Raj? Good afternoon, caller. You're there.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Go right ahead.
I missed you yesterday, boy.
You missed me. Good. I miss you guys too.
Because when I live with Yama, man, just sang playing only.
Yes.
It's not yet. I mean, I called because of something for NIS.
NIS, yes.
NIS give people 4% during this year here, like who under $40,000.
Right.
And every year, last year, the same thing them give. People over $40,000, they don't get nothing to get.
Uh-huh.
So some people, the pension will call into the situation, NIS. The NIS will give them money every year. This year, they give people who over about $40,000 and give them from March to June.
Uh-huh.
And the people who get less money on the party, they have from January to June.
Uh-huh.
4%.
So you're asking, what you're doing is trying to make a case for them to increase.
They will get increased.
Right.
They have increasing it.
Right.
So if you will work, living money, right, in a state or wherever you work, so your earnings are going to be high like some people.
Right.
The earnings will be low.
Uh-huh.
It's similar to like, okay, widows. You don't get, if a husband dies and he's a pensioner, you don't get all the amount of money that your husband used to get.
Uh-huh.
It's part of it. So,
all right. I hear you. We're gonna continue to put pressure on them for them to fix the system. They got a broken system there.
But you know, when you put pressure on them,
Uh-huh.
The NIS will go down the rate because now the estate start by new government make the estate open.
Right.
When all the estate was working,
Mm.
NIS break.
Right. All right.
Now-
We're going to continue to raise these issues because I'm very much aware of what's happened, and I know that they have some issues with collections, and so a lot of people are not paying.
I
And so,
think we get the constitution is a problem.
uh-huh.
Yeah, the constitution is very get a serious problem.
Right.
You know.
We have to fix it. Let's continue to put the pressure on it.
In the studio, we are all the man.
Uh-huh.
We say sign only. We say wow. So we say when someone called me and I was Monday. I was to call the phone out.
All right, I hear you. Okay. All right.
Boris we got from.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I know everybody. We want all these things fixed, but it is going to take some time. Let's continue to put the thing. Yeah. But it doesn't stop us from asking and to raising these issues, right?
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
They get money, man. They tell you that they get.
Yes, sir.
They get 4%. If it next year again, we go in, the low quality people will get back again. Highest people don't get.
Mm-hmm.
Then I get nothing. 2 years in Guyana, we get nothing.
Uh-huh.
So I'm a pensioner,
Yes. Thank you very much for that.
right? So I'm a pensioner. So the thing is that as rep, when I work at the estate, rep. So all the seminars you're going to know about it.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. When people start from Japanese, I just like it.
Yes. Thank you very much, dear sir.
All the best, everybody.
Yes. God bless you.
Continue to your good job doing.
Yes, sir.
All the best.
All right.
Yeah.
Good day. So all the best to the folks down in Berbice there as usual. We have a huge following up in Berbice. Everybody tuned in with the radio, whether they are lying in the bed, whether in the hammock, if they're in the gardens, people are listening to Kaieteur radio because this is their show. It is not our show. We're just facilitating it. And somebody was wondering, I think from time to time you just hear the questions, why wake up Guyana in the middle of the afternoon? And so it is not like I think one person pointed out, Inti Muhammad. Thank you very much, dear. It's a metaphor. All it simply means is not for you to wake up in the midday, but it's for you to wake up your soul. Let us start understanding that we have powers, that we have the capacity to bring this country to another level very quickly. So this show here was deliberately, it's a wake up Guyana show. People must ask the question, why wake up in the afternoon? So it's for you to wake up your soul, to start getting yourself to understand that you have the right to run this country also. And when we say run this country, the people that you put there, you don't work for them. They work for you. They're serving you. And so I want to make it very, very clear that it is our right to ask our NDCs, to ask our mayor, to ask our ministers, to talk to our people within the various institutions, whether you are the hospitals, whether it's NISL, whether you are the GA, whether you are GPL, that they have a right, they have an obligation, they have a mandate to serve the people. So thank you very much for that. Let me see if there's some questions here from our people. Yes. Good afternoon. I think the government should start putting back some big buses on the road like Barbados and others so we don't have people to take insult or abuse from the private bus owners. To hell with them. Even the pensioners travel for free with their ID card. So I think maybe there's something to think about, but you have to look at it. The sector, the transportation sector, has to be regulated in such a way that people don't just because things are a little bad that you raise the price. I can understand if you're running a private taxi and you decide to charge price, you have a right to maybe to call whatever. But if you hire a car also, I think there's a license that goes along with that, and there are conditions coming along with those licenses. We'd probably have to educate you a little bit that to, bring you aware as to what the conditions are with those licenses. We're going to bring some experts on to the show to give us some ideas as to what are some of the things that we could do and cannot do. Hi there, I'm from Region 4. I'm asking you to for me to receive this 20. What should I do? They're going to come to us. This is 25,000. Somebody's asking. I have to go register somewhere. Please let us know. No, you don't have to register. The persons are coming into the communities and they are going to be engaging you from house to house. They're going. And so they're going to be handing out your $25,000 from house to house. I think they come in there with the police and everything because it's dealing with cash. And so you have to register, you have to provide ID card, and you have to be delivering that. So in the meantime, there's another caller in line. Yes, good afternoon, caller, you on the air. Yes, good afternoon, caller, you on the air.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Good afternoon, sir. Go right ahead.
Just to make a point about the Bell West, the person talked about. As far as I know, and I don't can't talk for Bell West, the PTA, the finances of PTA is controlled by the parents, and no teacher asks for that. The parents ask for that. So that would be a parent power. But you talk about these people and the taxi drivers over the restricted river. One of the things that I have noticed in there, for instance, if you go to buy a Coke now, it's $20 more, it raised. In this pandemic, we have business and big companies that have raised prices, and so it comes back to the customer. The shopman don't take the price, it comes back directly to the customer. Everybody has raised the product. We heard this Minister of Labor talk about it. Raising the minimum. It's really minimum wage. They laugh at talking the price. And that conversation seems to have slipped on to people and gone somewhere. I can't find his words. It's immediately, for me and to him must mean something else, because he has not said another word about that since then. So when we talk about these taxi drivers, it's not just taxi drivers. business in its whole has raised their products. What caused it to raise in the pandemic, only God knows.
Yeah, it has been a big thing. You know, everything gone up. Everything. A housewife is going to tell you everything gone up. Every single
And
thing.
it's not a lie. It's not a lie. Everything has raised. Why in this pandemic? So, well, we can look, for instance, as soon as you liberalize the telecom sector, all of a sudden GPSC finds exceptional service to offer. Where it went all the time, it was hiding because it shows that they didn't care. Now that there's competition, they're trying to put a service out there because they know there's competition against them. And that is wrong for any business that's coming into this country. And I like how Mr. Lal keeps putting the pressure on this company. I still do not understand what we are getting. Right here, we got someone in the bank outside. But what is the people of Guyana getting? I still do not know. How the money reaches the people, what the people getting, how our lives getting better. Every government, when they go into power, have budgets to build roads and build schools and everything without oil. How is oil helping the people? How is oil coming back to the Guyanese people in this country? And I am talking about no grant of 25,000, nobody sorry if you and give you no hamper. I'm talking about Guyanese birthright. It's something. Yet we had Omai, and we can't tell what Guyanese get from it. We can tell what the company gets from it. So we need to seriously, as a people, take this serious and look into it.
Thank you very much, that, and I agree with you. PTA, Parent Teacher Association, and so I think when they've been asked for fees and things like that, and you can't pay fees, I think the parents are in charge of this also. So we have to look back at that.
Other parents looking into that. Other parents looking at that.
Right. So I think that could be fixed easy. Some of these things are fixable.
And then this thing where you talk about with the police and this report, this matter is an urgent matter. It ain't supposed to take it so long. The report's supposed to come out. We're supposed to know what's going on because this thing still has us on attention in this country. Everything seems to be going in one way. And finally, I do not know who had anything to bring to do with the elections, but people got to understand that nobody could hold this country or any country hostage for 5 months and think that everything will just be normal.
No. Somebody, there has to be answers. They have to. We can't have a repeat of it.
That's point. So whoever was in it, sorry for them, you got to pay.
Right.
If I was there, I would have had to pay. So be it. You try a thing as we done by yourself on the road and you get catch, so you got to pay this music. You get catch, you got to pay. Thank you. Listen to your comments.
Thank you very much, Zia. Yes, and you're right. In this day and age where there are questions to be asked, and at this point in time, Gildarie is not going to, I'm going to always be sitting on the fence. We don't have a political party. We don't back this government. We don't back any opposition. We don't endorse anybody. We don't have a constituency. Our responsibility as a radio station, as a newspaper, Kaieteur News, has always been to the people of Guyana. So even if there's a new government in place, we are always going to take them on. And so this is a very serious thing that we're looking at. And so I agree with you. The pressure is not going to be eased, and the caller as always has been right on the button with that. Mr. Paul Harold, thank you very much for joining us, sir. He's asking about Gildarie's senior journalist being given a position over critics. Critics does not work at Kaieteur News. Critics happens to be a very dear friend of mine. He also happens to be a good friend, like everybody else of Kaieteur. We don't think. So he comes in here from time to time, I could tell you. So he hasn't been given. It's a couple of jokes that was going across with social media that he was the editor-in-chief of Kaieteur. It was a joke. So Gildarie is not going anywhere, and Critic is not going anywhere. He is remain doing what he has to do, and Gildarie is going to be here. And we have our system here at Kaieteur News. We're a very serious newspaper. We are going to continue to do that, and there's no change from that. So it is very quickly, let me tell you, it is a better value for better protection. Get your ship and cargo covered with us today. CARICOM General Insurance Company, Inc. at 121 Regent and Orinoco Street. To better serve you, you can now purchase your insurance online from the comfort of your home. Telephone 225-1787 or 269-0020. CARICOM General Insurance Company, Inc. And very quickly, before we go back to the callers there, let me tell you what our people have been saying. Sorry, I've applied for public assistance online. I don't know if I'll get it separately or the $25,000 cover it, but I didn't work since school closed. I left my job. I've been left without a job since then. Look, public assistance has nothing to do with this $25,000. This $25,000 cash grant is something that the government is doing to all families across Guyana. And that is cash going to all families. The public assistance is something else that you have to apply for. So it's two separate things. I hope I have answered that question, dear. Hi, good afternoon. Send your message, please. Highlight it as thing. Let me see which street it is. I would be grateful if the government look into the street. I have noticed before election all those streets from all over was doing, but not with this one. And imagine former president lived just after Sarah Johanna, and still he never looked into the situation when he was in power. I'm not sure which street is this. You would have to be a little more clearer. Okay. Okay, the street for me is Sarah Johanna, East Bank Demerara, Ryston Avenue, I think it is. The street is in terrible condition. The people are saying that they want some help there. Sarah Johanna, East Bank Demerara. Ma'am, could you reach out to the NDC in the area there? You need to get them thing and ask them to look into it. And from there, also drop a copy of a letter to the Minister of Local Government. I know sometime or other somebody would have to come, but just do that for me. A copy there and a copy to the Minister, Nigel Damlal, and you would see how quick action, because he acts very quickly there. I know that he's going to ask them to put it somewhere along in their plans to get it fixed. Let's start doing that. Put our ministers under pressure, put your NDC chairperson under pressure, and make sure that you have talked to the minister, you've sent a correspondence to the minister. They should understand that. Good afternoon, guys. I'm interested about some people in my area, and they say they're giving away a voucher, so I would like to know what I do, what I have to do. Nobody's giving away a voucher. The government is sharing out right now in your area. I'm not sure which area it is. I'm not sure where it is that you're talking about, but in Region 4, they have not started the processes yet. But what they're doing right now is sharing out cash. And they've started in Region 1, they went to Region 9, they've gone to Region 8, I think they're in Region 6 at the moment. So I think Region 2, Region 3, Region 4, Region 5, those are the areas that they have to come to next. So where they're going next, I don't know. But it is not a voucher, it is cash that they're giving to you. Good afternoon, Leonard. Concerning the 25,000, if nobody is home when they're going around during the week, what will be the outcome to those people? Very good question. I'm not sure, but I'm sure that in the area that you could talk to the NDC, and maybe they could probably assist you there, because the NDC and everybody is liaising with these people here to ensure that this is being shared, distributed. And so you need to talk to them if you're not at home. But I think they give you ample notice and when they're going to be in the area there. Hi, good afternoon. I live in Strasbourg, School Road, Flower Dam. 8 years now. Nobody never come to collect garbage, and it have many bush and the drain don't clean. Every week I have to pay a pouring truck, and it's hard right now. I'm not working, plus I'm a single parent. Can you air it for me? And this is Strasbourg, School Road, Flower Dam. 8 years now. It needs cleaning, and also the bush and the garbage. They have a garbage situation there. So Strasbourg, I want to say good day to the folks down there at Strasbourg and all along the east coast of Demerara, wherever you live in. Be very safe on the road. The East Coast Road is a very nice road at the moment. I like driving on it, but the speed and the madness that's happened there, you guys got to ease it down a little. It's going too fast. The village that the person is talking about is on the Victoria on the east coast of Demerara. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. I send message to you. I live in CI West Coast Demerara. Man is mining pigs and cows in the housing scheme. Can someone do something about this? It's very bad. It's very bad here. Yes, you could do something. NDC there. Right? If you don't do it in the NDC, take some pictures, send it to the ministry, and you could do that. You got to start. We guys got to start. I'm trying to let us understand that the NDC got to do their job, and we want to put pressure on them. They can no longer be that you just vote people into office and they sit there looking after approving of plans, and so NDC is much more of approving of building plans and the oversee digging two drains. When there are issues within your area, whether it's a vending issue, whether it is a bush overgrown, whether it's something, you should be able to engage your NDC chairman. And if he doesn't listen, you send a letter to them as well as to the minister that you would have. And so we have, right now there's some caller on line. Good afternoon, caller on the air. Go right ahead. Yes, good afternoon, caller on the air.
Good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie. Gildarie.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you doing?
I'm from Sierra again.
Yes, sir.
I want to make some comments. Mr. Sheikh, that's went to Puerto Rico.
This when? Recently?
Yeah, and never tell me. And the people who live at the bar squat come from Venezuela and so, Guyanese, right?
Uh-huh.
And if you ask him for water, if he can bring the water, he tell the people, I got to pull up money to get water. Listen to me carefully. This man started with the nonsense when he been a housing, then he got water, and he put him back again. This man, you want government, and people come. When you go to Venezuela for live, they may beg the government for put water, the people get water and carry the water in and give the people them. You know, and next thing again, when I want to talk about pension, let me make them clear. People get a nice pension, they will give you more wage increase every year. Let me explain to you what's going on. People who doesn't pay, right? They work 15 years or 16 or 17 years and left and then gone. And then come and then claim and then send 50, then get a pension. Now, the NIS bring up their money in 8%, and the people live in this country and work until them think, I'll come in here for 3 years. And when you go get your 3%, because your money is a little high, 4%. No, then I should be people gone America and all over the world and Guyanese, and then come and then file back because they pass them 50 and then get money and you carry up their money while left on the people who solve it and I start do it. You understand what's going on? Good. Now, when you come on this police fire up on the road, the traffic have them. You know who cars this country will lose about $5-6 billion a year? Where the government can get the money and raise police money? Let me tell you who. You got the boss man, you got the policeman, the carman, you got the truck man, or the man charge you carry overload. You got to say, the government will set you up, man. If they charge $15,000, the man will collect $5,000 and he go anyway. That's what the police are doing all over this country. Nobody can prove that can be travel all about. What the policeman are do, right? The people, not the policeman got fault, is the people who are get charged. They must pay on by so then I got to go court for pay a full amount of money. And the policeman is glad because I got back $100,000 a week or $50,000 today. Because I got to build a new brown big house, I got to buy a new minibus, I got to buy a fancy car. These are the things what happen. You understand me? And coming back to everything, this regional chairman was there a regentry. Right?
Yeah.
My family is working there. And they told me certain things. Every Indian people will get position, metal Indian people in this country get position. They're more big than president. They're more big than the president. You want me to tell you why? Tell me why. You know, the girl say, and the boy say, when you talk like a hog, and you holler up on them. Is that the way you treat a worker? If I got a business to run, I have to sit down and talk to my worker and get them. These are the things what NDC caused election the last time, you know, man. This NDC, them, let me tell you, they just one position, friends and family. I am telling you, I pass it and I know it, and nobody can fool me. Just a few of them. Just a few of them. And these things will go on, and the government will get blamed. The government got to step up. And when you see people complain about them, remove them.
Well, we got to raise this issue, and you know what? I kind of like this conversation because nobody should believe. I'm not saying that this is indeed what happened, but nobody should believe that they have an office there that they could be able to speak to anybody as they feel like, especially
you,
customers
brother,
and the staffers and things like that.
All over. When let me tell you something. Me or Indian, and when Indian people hold on position, get on position, they're more big than the president and they're more big than God. Believe what I'm telling you. I've been to plenty office. One time I've been for a paper for put on a street light for me. I bought the street light myself, right? And for put it on. And the guy who walked there, he know me, I have friends and so. And he going to tell the overseer, the girl. You know, from 11 o'clock till 5 o'clock with just their paper. Camera, a GPL, and then go take the light. You go doubt me there? That happen, and you happen all over the place. Because they don't care.
No, we got to hold them. And when we see these things, and let me tell you this, I'm almost sure if you were to ask me that is not what the president or any president would want to see their workers or
Yes.
any ministers or any official treat the workers as if, these workers are servants and these are the kings and these are the queens,
All right.
Well,
Well,
we can't
hold on.
have that.
You know what a man complainer says that can get goods on the material and do all that thing there? It happened to my area.
Uh-huh.
Next door to me, them a strong UIU. They're going to share, and when the thing left on them, they come to me. I may sit right to me, I make my veranda. Come collect it, I say, sorry, sir. Take it and can carry it back. I don't want it. I'm not big about it. I'm not too big about it. But for sure, you live right there, and they go all about. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Well, these are the things what the people are going to do, and the government will get bad name. Believe what I'm telling you. Believe what I'm telling you, man.
All right, my brother, I hear you. Thank you very much, huh?
God bless you, man.
God bless you. Bye-bye. And talking about that, I did, somebody did call me from Essequibo Coast, and they're talking about, I think it's a rank yesterday, and the person was complaining about the rampant corruption in the police force here, about one senior female official who is reportedly directing her colleagues or ranks under her jurisdiction to make sure that they bring in certain amount of money at the end of the day, and it's a big business, and so they're shaking down officials. So I did indicate to that person that there's many things that they could do, including filing a complaint, but the rank did not want to do that. Well, let me make it very clear. If we know of anything that goes along from the Saudi area, from the Anna Regina area there on the Essequibo Coast, let us hear what is happening, because we hearing that all is not well, and especially there, even within the police station area there was recently a wake, and officers firing off shots into the air, big bacchanal going on, and nobody's doing anything. So it seems as if the police need to pull their acts together, pull up the socks, and get your work done, because the people are watching, the people are paying attention. Somebody is taking videos, and they're taping, and they're doing what they have to do, and so there's going to be some people that is probably going to be in trouble. So pull up yourselves and make sure that you don't do that. You continue to take bribes from the people. You continue to take advantage of them. They are going to retaliate. And so if you know of anybody that is complaining and they're doing things that is contrary to what is supposed to be, well, then you know where to turn to and who to complain to. And we need to know. We need to start taking pictures. We need to start, showing. If you have a car that belongs to a police officer that's so very heavily tinted, send it to us. Let me think it. And I could say PJJ number so, located at the Grove Police Station, owned by WR Riaz or Raj. Raj, you own a car? Do not tint it up like that. Rad doesn't want to carry it, but I am giving him ample warning. He's going to get himself in some really serious trouble there. So let us start doing that. Start embarrassing people now, because we have to stop it. We have to stop it. Too much bribery, too much things going on around the place. Good afternoon, just tuning in to you. Could you say when Region 2 is going to get their $25,000? We have absolutely no ideas yet. I think we're waiting on the authorities to make the announcement. As soon as we get that, we're going to allow you to know. Good afternoon, Mr. Leonard, concerning 25,000 voucher. If there's more than one family living in the same yard but in different house, can they get a voucher too? Yes. If there's two houses in a yard, I think that's right away. That's obvious. But if more than one family living inside one building, and maybe they have different rooms, the authorities want to ensure that that they don't give out more than So they're going to verify. They're asking you to apply, and then they're going to come back, and I presume there's a verification process there. So very, very clear. So how are you doing, WRES? I missed you yesterday. What happened? Did you take over the show? You didn't do anything?
We miss you. Even Raj was a bit sad when I came in. He looks like, Gildarie not here. He kind of had that.
Did he play music? Did he sing?
He played music. He didn't sing yesterday, though. Good afternoon to the listeners. Coming to that point that you just made, I saw a release actually on the Vice President's Facebook page. Let me see to paraphrase. At the end of it, what he was saying is that even if there are two families and that he's aware and the investigation was made, they're aware that two families, it could be, and this is an example, maybe a son and a wife and his daughter and his parents is living there as well. He said that about he made reference to a pink form or a pink slip. So I know early stages, a lot of persons had great concern about it. The verification will happen. So if you were normally preparing of one particular form, you will know because you have two families here, you will fill out this pink slip and it will be verified. I saw that on his Facebook post. I think today is Thursday? I think something like Tuesday afternoon, or yes, I think it was Tuesday afternoon. Yeah, I saw that. So that is that should be a question that just follow the procedures whenever they come to your communities or region all together.
Thank you very much, dear WR Riaz. As usual, have a lot of information on hand.
I gotta say big ups to the NDC at the Providence Diamond. Yes,
Providence?
Herstellin.
That's Romel Roperainas there.
Yes.
Yeah, he's very sharp.
They've been doing a lot in terms of garbage collection. I was driving. I was coming. I heard a woman somewhere in Strasbourg said that she didn't get her stuff collected and all of that. The Herstellin Little Diamond NDC actually. Efficient garbage disposal service. No service charge. No service charge levied. That's the Herstellin area there. So I gotta give that NDC credits. I kudos on that in terms of garbage collection altogether.
Thank you very much, there, WR Riaz. And you know, Riaz, the issue, and it comes back to service. I think people don't understand when you want to become a politician.
Yes.
Your entire life.
Your entire life has
changed. It's one of service.
Yes, it's one of service, and people need to understand that. And I will echo. Just parking, I heard a gentleman wrapping a conversation up. I may not go down all his points, but I'll just make this point where the gentleman was talking about authority. Let us not make positions, office, and authority fly to our heads. Because keep in mind the same way that you were given that position, it is the same way it could be relinquished from you as well.
But let me ask you, I want to throw a spanner into the works here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, during elections time, everybody knocking at the gate, right?
Mm-hmm.
You live somewhere up the East Coast there.
East Bank.
Could you name 10 persons from the NDC that you know?
In my area?
Yes.
I think I know two only.
There's a reason why I asked you that question.
I think I only know two. One being Romel, because I fall under that same jurisdiction by him, and there's another guy that I know.
The reason why I ask you that, Riaz, is very simple. Is to bring out a point. Is that you see these guys come in and knock on the doors, and then you don't know what they do. What is it? I expect my like how you know the Georgetown City Councils, everybody know, because they're big bacchanal going in there whenever. It's different now because of the pandemic, but in the normal given situation, the media would have been covering what is happening because of how serious the main City Council is to Georgetown and to the rest of Guyana. You would know those folks, but in a normal situation, you don't know the councillors within those various areas. There's a point to that. Because when you're there, it's not just for you to turn up at a statutory meeting and you and I talk. You know, there's an application here today for WRES, and let us pass it. You need to go around to the people. Are we serving you properly?
Yeah,
what is it that you want?
I think more that needs to happen now, because we need to understand that, and I've said this so many times in so many different angles, that society has changed way of thinking, way of living, and way of doing business, and way of approach things. For instance, our listening span sometimes is be short. I'm happy that person still listen to Leonard, Gildarie, babble whole day, and WR adds his piece. I'm happy. But sometimes our attention has been distracted so many places, so many different things to do. So you need to understand that back in those days, on that style of cleaning two drain and just weed the carpet every couple months, yeah, we did a good job. That was a long time ago. We all want development. We want to look like the US. We want to look clean. We want to do. How does it play? It starts from you as an individual to clean your area. It starts from the NDC to add their piece. And it goes on like that. It reaches to the minister or the local government ministry and so forth. But we play a part. But those councillors and those NDC individuals, whom I don't know, maybe none really, you all need to play a part.
They got to play a bigger role because they're part of the government system. This is why you call it local government organs.
Exactly.
And so
exactly.
They have...
And the NDCs don't function, it paints a bad image on the government.
Of course, but
Right?
everybody's going to come back. Every day here, people calling, my street is not going well.
Yeah.
And I started educating
And
them.
you blame the government.
No, but I started educating
Yeah.
them,
Exactly.
You have a NDC because how the system works. Let me explain to you if you don't know how the system works. Before a road is fixed and before it's put in the budget, somebody has to make a case that
Right.
this road, whether it's an overseer who would have gone and said, this road touched 3 Diamond, I need to fix this road. So he is going to go and take some pictures and go to the thing. Let us put this in the budget for next year. But if a resident goes and every day you're knocking on the door, could you fix this road? Could you fix this road? Right about now, I'm starting to engage people. Could you start writing a letter to the NDC? Send a copy of it to the minister, because when he see that, he's bound to address it. So he's going to tell one of his officers, could you get on to the NDC and let them handle it at that level, or to the RDC? This is one of the budget for the roads for 2021.
Correct.
So this is how it's done. So
Correct.
sitting on the hands and complaining about it ain't going to work.
Yes, we all need to be a little bit more proactive. We all need to be a little bit more proactive. It comes back to my same point about things used to happen then. What we need to understand
It changed now,
is
different ball
we
game.
have more people traversing the road, more vehicles traversing the road now than 10 years ago. So we have to be proactive. We can't always sit down and think, the NDC gonna know it or they're gonna come. No, we have to be more proactive, because the travel and usage of that road 10 years ago is developed. A lot of more vehicles are on our streets, our roads, our small streets and all these things. So we have to play a role. I am endorsing, if you have an issue, bring it up. Don't wait and think that the government will know it all. Take the small step before you jump to the bigger step.
Absolutely, but it comes back to the NDC too, because at the end
Yes,
of the
the
day,
small
why
step
is
is
it
the NDC.
but hold
Small
on,
step is NDC.
and here's the kicker. If you are part of the NDC or council or whatever it is, why is it that the people going to come to you to tell you, please fix my road?
Yeah, why
They
you
should have
don't-
been
why-
going wrong. You have an overseer in that place.
Yeah,
Who used to be going wrong. Don't come and ask me to vote for my vote the next time, because the next time they come, what is it that you are
very
planning?
true. That's very true. You go around, see what's happening,
But that's the job.
make the provisions, bring it up to the same meeting that you're going to sit and pass something, bring it up right there, see how you could, if it's not budgeted for, maybe at your next meeting with the minister or the local government officials, bring it up there. So everyone needs to play a part. I agree that everyone needs to play a part in this.
Absolutely.
It's very big for all of us. We all need to play a part.
Absolutely. So you're tuned into the Wake Up Guyana show here, and we come to you live from a studio here on Saffron Street, 24 Saffron Street, and we are beaming to you on 99.1 in Demerara and Escobar, 99.5 in Berbice. And if you don't want to catch us there, you could catch us on Facebook, Kaieteur Radio on Facebook, or Kaieteur Radio live stream on YouTube. So we go right back into those calls. Do we have a caller online? 226-7453, or you could send us those messages 62222. And then, so in the meantime, let us see what our people are saying to us. It is good afternoon. I message you from Canada. I have a few questions and really appreciate your response. My father came to Canada from Guyana on a holiday and did not get to return to Guyana because of COVID. So he's wondering how this situation would affect his pension benefits. He did not receive any benefits since March of this year. Will he still be entitled to his benefits? I'm going to send this question here.
Benefits where? That's Canada or Guyana?
He didn't.
He went to Canada.
Yeah, let me go
Oh.
back. Let me go back.
He
here.
went to Canada,
Yeah,
okay.
he went to things. So I messaged. Let me just read it, and then I'm going to send this here to NIS to get it. Good afternoon. I'm messaging you from Canada. I have a few questions and will appreciate your response. My father came to Canada from Guyana on a holiday and did not get to return to Guyana because of COVID. So he's wondering how will this situation affect his pension benefits. He did not receive any benefits since March of this year. Will he still be entitled to his benefits? Thanks for your time and looking forward to hearing from you. Have a good day. Your benefits are always there. I don't think they do away with it. So I think you would have from time to time to present your life certificate, and so when he comes back, he could probably look. It's there.
In a case like that, I'll explain it in this scenario quick. And this is me not working at NIS or anything, but I'm just gonna try to picture it. Simple way, you just show your return ticket to Guyana within the period of time you were out, and between that period of time, Caribbean Airlines, I know this for sure, and the North American Airlines, they had sent you an email informing you these were issues happening with these flights, and I'm sure those emails went out to everyone, so it's evidence that you couldn't come home. Because I myself have some pending flights between these two, and they'd email me telling me, well, you can't travel between this period of time, you'll be reimbursed by not cash but by a air flight whenever it's open up and so forth. So that individual just present the necessary case, and the world know what's happening right now. We all know what was happening. So on my assumption, the answer is yes. I'm thinking that person's father ought to be given his pension when he do return to Guyana by just simply going in the office, proving his case that I was there. This is my when I leave. This is when I came back. Your passport shows it, and I couldn't come back because of COVID XYZ. I am now coming to collect my 3 months, 5 months, 6 months claims, whatever it is. I think it should be worked out like that.
Thank you very much, Raj. We have another caller. Yes, good afternoon, caller in the air.
Yeah, is that Leonard Gildarie?
It is. You are on air right now. You're speaking to Leonard.
Okay, I have some concern I want to raise. The forensic lab was started the bill by the PPP, right? Then the coalition come and they spend a lot of money there because they said not.
On the way, which the lab? Which lab?
The forensic lab.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, and now the 5-year pass and the new government in place, we want to know what's happening there, right? Also, the PPP has started the Ministry of Human Service building by High Street by Radio Demerara here. And the building has been laid up for the 5 years, and we want to know what's happening there now.
Very good. I will answer both of them. I'm very familiar with both issues.
Yes. And also, as the guy talked about the regional chairman presently now, I would like Kaieteur the news to go and interview him. Ask about his qualification, because I know him from Leg 1. He was a laborer at the sub-office. I don't know how he reached here. Right? He always has this hostile behavior. You see? So I wanted to look into also another thing I'm very keen about. I know that the Ministry of Health will be putting out tenders to supply of pharmaceuticals to the various hospitals and so. I do hope that Answer McCall doesn't give him any of that tender, regardless if they come very cheap or what. Because those people who train that are not buying anything from Guyana. Right now, Guyana is sustaining them, right? And what are we getting? I don't know. I would like somebody to make it public, but we get it from Republic Bank, and we get it from Answer McCall. We have new GPC, we got IPA, we got Pharmagen, and think, if you let Guyanese have a part of this share of this tendering as soon now. Let us not depend so much on other foreign places to come and dominate everything here. Let us, some of our money to remain here. Right? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, dear sir. I'm gonna.
But I'll be listening to you to hear about those buildings and the bids and what have you.
Thank you very much, dear. All right. God bless. Okay, let's look at the two buildings there. The one that he's talking about is the forensic lab there at Turkine, and it was built to the tune of several $100 million leading up to the 2015 elections. There were some issues fundamentally with that building, because if you have a lab, there are certain things in terms of temperature control, because if you're dealing with DNA and a whole set of stuff, and your equipment and so on, temperature control and electricity and thing. they would have had some issues also with the elevator. So by the time I think the new government, the coalition government came into office, they were trying to fix it because there was an issue with a Bajan contractor, if I could recall. So we were never able to get up to speed because you could have a building, but if you don't have the technical capacity of the people there trained to handle DNA and things, and we have our equipment and so on, it's not going to make sense. So it's a work in progress. They always admitted, I think consecutive government admitted that developing a forensic laboratory or a lab is going to be a work in progress all the time. So let us see where it goes. But I know that it's a work in progress, and that issue, we're not too happy with it. I think you also spoke about the High Street building there, where the former GBC or rated MRR was. They had started building it, I think it was under the Ministry of Human Services. They had some ideas to put some offices there. But whatever it is, that contractor messed up. I think it was Bacchus or somebody, and that building is structurally unsafe. I think there are many parts of the floor collapsing. There were some thoughts to put a GRA, a couple of offices, Guyana Forestry Commission, and so on, to look into it. As of now, that building there is structurally unsafe, according to the engineers. I think they're still studying. The government is studying what to do with that property. It's there. Do they tear it down? What do we do? Could we put something to do some operation? But the building is unsafe as it is right now. They were looking at some options, but I believe it is a foregone conclusion. They might have to rip that new building down. It's new in the sense it's never been used.
It's never been used.
But they might very well have to bulldoze it and then build it. It's a good property there. It's a big property. It's located not too far away from where we located on High Street there.
Old GBC.
Old GBC building there. So it's a very sad thing, but those are two very good questions from that gentleman there, asking about two big buildings, hundreds of millions of dollars, and it should be a place that we don't want to go back to. People should be charged when they do things, because if you're building, I hear from time to time contractors would say they build according to specifications. I'm saying to you, if you give me a plan, and when I'm looking at this plan, and I know that as a contractor, if I build this building is going to collapse, I'm going to refuse to. I know contractors refuse job because it says this plan that you've given me, it's contrary to what the Guyanese people would need. And it's, in any case, it's going to be unsafe. And so we have issues as a contractor. You cannot sell yourself as I would use this word, a prostitute, that you would actually do that when it comes to taking people's money, especially the taxpayers' money, and you accept it knowing that what you're going to give is something short, or you do something. And I blame also not the contractor also, but the supervising engineer, because they're the ones who have to represent the Guyanese people and sign off so those people could get the money, the contractor. So it's a two-way street, but those are issues we have to pay attention to. It's not only the contractor, but it's the engineer also, the supervising engineer. And so maybe as we come down, we have like about 20-15 minutes more to go. Let's see a couple of messages here. I'm from Metamizorg. The other day, some citizen from some group called Comrade CDC. There was one issue with the garbage. They say that you must not throw your garbage on the road. Neither can you burn. I am poor and I cannot burn what I also. Let me see the writing here. It's on the roadside. When the animals empty this barrel, who will pick it up when they're in front of me? What will the poor people do with the garbage? The fly in front of me, I cannot burn them. Why can't the NDC or the CDC get these people to put out the garbage out of the yard? The CDC said they cannot do that for those people that support the PPP financially. I think there's some issues here. You guys got to work it out there, man. Why are we fighting with this? Good afternoon. Somebody say hi. Hi to you too. Hi, good afternoon. I'm living in the 1st Street Industry, or 9th Street Industry. I think it looked like 4th Street. There's a GPL post. There's next to a shop. I told the meter persons that it's rotten, it's lean, and the wires grazing my house. They have to report. I need some help. So this is a 4th Street Industry. There's a GPL post there. You could call 225-1471, 225-1471. That's the PR department of GPL. I understand there's a shake-up in management there. There's a new deputy CEO, and I think all of the CEOs there, but there's some major shake-up there. 225-1471. Call those folks here. Tell the PR department you're not getting any help. Could they fix it? That you spoke to Kaieteur radio. So let's go back. Could we go back to call quickly? Good afternoon, caller. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Mr. Gildarie.
Good afternoon,
Yes,
sir.
Mr. Grant, the architect from Eccles.
How are you doing, sir?
Not too bad, how are you?
Pretty good.
Okay, what happened is that I, being an architect, I know Mr. Robson Ben before 2015. He is, of course, a civil engineer. And what I'm saying is that my personal view, right, personal opinion is that he should be the Minister of Public Infrastructure. So, you know, and it's really worrying to see that he has this technical capacity, okay, to function, and he was functioning effectively as a Minister of Public Infrastructure before 2015. So I think he should be the Minister of Public Infrastructure, and not I'm afraid that is totally out of the norm.
Well, I'm sure about one thing. I'm sure that the government is paying attention to the performance of its ministers and the other functionaries in place. And I'd say why. Because ever so often they would have to go and retreat and look back at the performance, and they would say, okay, we're going to do some shifting around, some shake-up within cabinet. This is why you would hear shake-up in cabinet. Let's pay attention to what is happening, because I'm sure that by Jagdeo as vice president and the president also, Dr. Fanali, that they're paying very close attention to the performance of their ministers and what they're doing. And let's hope that there's going to be some shake-up somewhere along that. There have to be an assessment.
Okay, but you would agree with me that the man with the technical capacity should be where he's supposed to be.
I have some thoughts to that, and I could probably respond to you right away. Okay. Somebody would have said it in the past. You could be a good manager. You don't have to know anything about a particular ministry, because you have your expertise there. You have the heads of department who are the experts there, and they could be reporting to you. Having knowledge of a particular ministry is going to be some help. But if you're a manager also, you could be able to quite ably handle a ministry. But I understand your point, what you're saying there. Having knowledge of a particular area is going to be an asset.
That's correct. Yeah.
But if you also know management also, you see me, I didn't go far in school. I barely finished high school. I didn't go to university or anything. But you could be able to apply yourself in certain positions and certain areas, certain situations that would arise from time to time. But I understand what you're saying there, sir.
Okay. Because really to add something to it is that, I mean, I'm an architect, and I mean, I deal with building, you know, and if you put an architect and an engineer, civil engineer or structural engineer, always work hand in hand. You understand?
Yes.
So you see, so the thing about it is that when you find an engineer that will function as a home field minister, I mean, as you said about management, but then I feel personally as a technical person, you won't have the flow, you won't have the outcome, that the result that you're looking for, because it's a slow down process, so to speak. You understand?
Yes.
You know.
Thank you very much, dear, my brother.
Respect. I mean, I like your program and continue the program. Okay.
God bless you, my brother.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. And Mr. Alistair Jeremiah, this program here is, we have lots of women here. We have respectable women here. And if you are going to want to be part of this program, you want to comment and things like that, we welcome that. We welcome all Guyana. But let's do that in a very respectful manner. The ladies might not very well like it. We love Guyanese women too. We love the aunties and the uncles and everybody as well. So let's keep it within those realms, within professionalism, with respect and so on. So I think you got my thing very clear. We have people monitoring here, and we don't want to be blocked. We don't want to be blocking everybody. Everybody is here. Welcome, but we're very strict about these things here. Let us do it in some kind of respectful tones. So in the meantime, let's go read some of those comments here. Thanks for your response and information. We viewed it and it's very helpful. I will also want to know about his old age pension. Would he still be entitled to that? Yes, your gentleman would still be entitled to the pension. Hi, Leonard. Another set of non-coordination waste of money. If you drive in the Canal Number 2 West Bank Road, you will see contractors are weeding the roadside. And behind of that, an excavator is digging the canal and spreading the mud. It makes no sense to read the roadside, then spread the mud on it. It looks like we have lots of money to it. Did I just read what I read here?
Yes.
Oh, let me read back this way. Because sometimes, I mean, look. Some things
it's not like GPL working and GWI working, and then they break the road, and then next
the contractor is paving the road, and then after they pave the road, the GWI go and break the road to fix it. I mean, I see some things, and let me just read this back, because the Gildarie hearing right and he reading right. Because sometimes you read something and then it says it's not sounding right in my ears. Hi, Leonard. Another set of non-coordination, waste of money. If you drive in the canal number 2 West Bank Road, you will see contractors are reading the road. And behind that, an excavator is digging the canal and spreading the mud. It makes no sense to weed the roadside and then spread the mud on it. Looks like we have lots of money to waste. Whoever this individual is, kudos to you, sir. I like that. Because we have some idiotic, well, it's not idiotic. I would say these are some very smart people making some money on the side. Because you can't do this. It doesn't make sense. It would not. Who does that? Who approves work like that?
Raj, did you approve it?
So you dig in the canal, and let me see if people understand. And if you don't understand, let me spell it out. So you wade in the canal you wade in the roadside that is leading in the canal. If you go into canal number 1 and 2, I'm very familiar with that area. I used to live in Parfait. So there's a canal there. You're wading it because you want something, and then you dig the canal and throw the mud on top of the area that you weed. Why didn't you dig it in the first place and then throw it on top if the idea is to dig the canal? Doesn't make sense to me. So I think it's either that's an NDC work, but hold on. There was a man that they used to complain to me about. They used to get a lot of work, big work. He used to get millions of dollars. It was a kickback scheme, right? And I hope that you guys are listening to us. We on to you. So he would get the work. He would get paid millions of dollars, and then he would hire a couple of people, create an employment, pay them a little pittance, and then the work is a kickback. And just for what? Just weeding and digging certain parts. But the work is done in such a way that they got to go back and weed and dig in a couple months again. You know, it's the same old, same old. When I read things like that, it sends me on another side. So let's get it right. Here, what are we going to do? We're going to play some games here, or are we going to be very serious? The same number that you text is 6222222, sir. Make sure that we know the contractor who is doing this work here. Take out some pictures with the contractor, with the people working, with the contractor, with the NDC or whatever equipment it is, and let us know. And let's work backward from there. Because if this is not idiotic to the highest extent, I'm not really sure what it is. Because this is not how that thing could buy a couple hampers there. Huh? I like at things that way. You could buy a couple laptops, or you could buy a couple of tablets. And I know a lady who sells tablets very cheap, $13,000-$14,000. A couple of students need those things. I think like that. So let us get ourselves right. I'm not sure. What are your thoughts?
Nah, that's a wrong approach in doing it altogether. I think there's been a confusion between either one or two agencies whilst doing that all as it is.
The left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing, or somebody the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. I seem to think that doesn't ring. So if knowing our people there is a supervisor. Yeah. So the supervisor goes along, or overseer, or the clerk of works, whoever it is that goes there. We understand the system too, you know, so you won't fool us. There's somebody who, when there's a work being done, somebody got to go check out that the work is being done. So if it is on the canal number 2, you know what, Gildarie might got to take a drive over there. I'm going to have to take a drive over there, because I would like to see. I'm not going to use the word idiot. I don't want nobody. There was a man that used to be on a television station, and he went into a particular area in Canal a couple of years back when I was a little boy, and he talked to a man, and the man reached across and slapped him. I don't want to think.
Call him my name now. Why you want to call him?
He's my friend. I don't want to call him.
Okay, let me. Call your friend name. Because I think I know this story. I know this story is average time about 15 years.
All right, y'all take the picture of that excavator that is there, and take the picture of the grass that's being covered, or the weeded parapet that's being covered, because that thing is nonsense, and I think somebody making a kickback there. I mean, use your brains, man. People looking on, people are smart now. People got cell phones. People taking pictures.
Yeah.
Raj, do we have another call there? Yeah. Yes. Good afternoon, caller. You're here. Go ahead. Hello.
Missed it.
I think we missed that one there. So let me see how this person said it again. Okay, that's the one there. Hi, I'm messaging in regards to charges for an hour of airtime on the radio. Call through the switchboard 225-8491, and you're gonna have charges on the airtime with radio 225-8491. So Raj, I think Raj sent me. Did you just send me a message here? Why you sending me a message? You could say it, I don't understand. Raj is a very strange fellow.
No.
Okay, good afternoon, Leonard. Certified no upside diamond. His car's dark tinted, covered with the Guinness logo. This is a laugh day, I'm enjoying myself here.
But talking about that, how do we now know, especially in the nights, when police are wearing, or former police are wearing clothes, and you're pulling up and allegedly stopping you? We heard of that robbery that occurred two nights.
Well, let me tell you this, unless I see a big police contingent there, me ain't stopping for no police at on that car.
And I've said this, I think I had issues on this some time ago, a very long time ago. I probably make mention, but how do I stop as an individual? And this is something that we have to look in. At 11 or 10 in the night, a car or an alleged bike stopping you on the roadways, this is serious concern. It's very, very serious concern. Hence, one time I'd heard from the police that the roadblocks have to happen in front of the station, or if it's not in front of the station, it must be with what we want to call a Broncos police must be there as well.
You learned something there, right? Yeah,
Right?
you got to do that. You got to have them there.
I heard this on lots of programs that we had in the past with police, that you have to get an ASP or what might be their next rank in the brown uniforms. ASP, superintendent. Anyway, you have to get one of those officers if it is not happening in front of the station. And that was because of security. Now, this thing arise again, and I heard from very good sources in that community yesterday. I got this information that this is not the first time that this had occurred. It just happened that they get caught at this time now. One of the person, I was even told, that drives around with an unlicensed weapon in his car. So these are great concerns.
Man, when you're here, you see what Riyadh said. This is extreme shocking. I guess I got to be out a little more to hear some of these stories here.
And when you're out there, you hear these things. When you're out and you know the people who's on the road, you get to know these things. And they said that allegedly this may not be the first time that these three guys went into an act like this. And this baffles me as a road user. So I'm driving my time going home about 9 o'clock, 8:30, whatever.
You say police, you got to stop.
You got to stop.
Right.
So what do I do? This is serious.
Am I justified in driving away? Because if I feel something is wrong.
Exactly.
If I have a weapon in my hand and I feel something is wrong, I am leaving.
Yeah, no, this is a great, great concern. And I will tell you this actually of a situation, I can't remember how long ago, about maybe 8 years, probably. So I was driving going home, and I saw one bike behind me. And I kind of been looking at him, right? And then all of a sudden, a next bike is now looking behind me. The first bike is attempting to stop me. I choose not to stop. I called my dad. I told him I'm on my way home. Just come down, open for me. Lo and behold, it was a police, right? Without a badge, without any stripes on his shoulders or anything. But he can't explain to me after I start raising my voice, because it was very suspicious on that night. The way it was done, it makes me wonder. And this is a situation that we don't want to reoccur, that just occurred a couple nights back. So we have to let the police, Uncle Ben, we got to put some measures.
Yeah, we got to start. No.
Because
we got to throw the book at these people that
this sound as though it is not serious. But imagine you going home and a police uniform just pull up in front of you just like that. your conscience will say to stop. But
Stop.
by the time you stop, two other one rush at you and rob you.
That's right. So we got to be very careful, and these are very serious issues here. This is a conversation, and I think I'm going to have to bring Mr. Ben onto this program here. I haven't really invited any ministers or anything,
No, but
maybe.
this
but
is
we have to.
This is a serious situation because it comes back to my earlier point, the pace that the world is changing, just like how you were thinking that how to make an honest dollar, the police or the crooks, the bandits are thinking the same way.
That's why, allegedly, if he has been held up for something like that, and they find him guilty, they got to throw the book at him.
Talking about that, another story on the East Coast, it is alleged that the security guard
Yes, I
was
saw that.
was in an incident.
Right.
But he was under the radar because the incident was thrown out of the court. So he didn't go down that, you know what, he was charged for arms and robbery.
And they give him a license.
And he get a license to do security. But it's a little ticklish situation. He under the radar because he was never charged. Apparently, I heard that the person withdraw from the case or some information of that sort.
It's difficult because
So
if you don't
now
have
that's a difficult one, but I'm just throwing that out there again as we were
Right,
talking on this. So that's an interesting
No, of course,
next
and I
interesting
kind of like that.
scenario.
Percy Tivari, and this is what the gentleman says, and he's listened to the program. We did discuss a little while about the excavating the canal area there on the west bank of Demerara digging, and he's saying that it could be a situation. I think the suggestion is that if there are bushes in the area, you need to get the excavator needs to get there. You have to clear the area. That's different if you weed in the grass. If you weed in the grass because
That
you
gentleman
want to
makes a good point
right.
altogether.
But-
I
right.
respect that gentleman's point.
There is another. I saw a comment not too long ago too about MPs and councilpersons and politicians in some areas in Canada. I think it was the comment went past. But this is what they say: when you go in there as a representative of the people, you have to present your picture and the programs that you're going to do.
Yep.
And 1 year or 2 years or whenever it is election time come back. You got to come back. And
Yeah.
this is what I did in Guyana. It's different. Someday you see who the heck is Gildarie? Who's Raj? Oh yes, he came 4 years back. What did he do? Well, I don't know. He went to the council and he sat down there and he passed 3 plans.
He is still looking.
Why are you
still looking for a larky?
Why would you want to go sit as a council person and
blast
do
plans.
absolutely nothing? To do what? Get the hell out and put somebody who could do the work. We need to see our people would drive. I would want to see them come knock on my gate. What is the problem, Mr. Gildarie? I can't remember any council person. Does anybody know any council person coming to your house, knocking on the gate and saying, what is the problem, sir? I can't remember except when you're campaigning. I would come in there and promise you the moon. This is like somebody suing you. You know his word suing, right?
Yes.
They come in, they're hustling you. A man hustling a woman. Y'all know the thing what I say. I shouldn't be talking
Exactly.
this. But they come in and they can promise you the moon and the stars. And when they finish and they get what they got to get, who the hell are you?
All right, so I get a message. All of them must come on the show. All the MPs, members of parliament, they must talk to us. The other MPs, we're all members of the public. Yes, I got this from a very good friend of mine, Mr. Nazim Hussein. Not my dad, but I think you may know that next,
Yes.
Nazim. I got that. So good afternoon to you, sir. You're locked in with us. Yes, we share that view that all should come to the program. We
can start. Look, we got to start. I mean, we got to start asking what did you do over the last couple months? Let's start putting them. Or if you don't want to come, we call you out.
Yeah.
So we start with Grove Diamond. This is where I'm living. I have a very good chairperson.
Can we
there.
start with Mr. Nazim as he is at Ministry of Health to bring him? Can we invite him as he's locked in with us now to bring him?
Oh yeah, this is my dear friend.
That's my dear friend as well.
All right, a good day to you, Mr. Nazim Hussein. There, always a very good
very
person
great
to
gentleman.
engage
Yes,
with.
indeed.
So I think
our time is over. We're in MMR time now. Oh, okay, we go.
My apologies.
It happens like that. It happens like that. It's fine.
So it is coming down. I apologize. I spoke and I went past the time. It's a Wake Up Guyana show. You could get us on this host, Leonard Gildarie. We're going to be back with you tomorrow. Run out of time here today because I think WRE has talking plenty. So let's call it a day. I think you could get us here on Facebook, on YouTube, and we've been coming to you live wherever you are. Good day to you. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to be back tomorrow. Over and out to you, Raj, and you have been a good boy today.